Do, 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 do.
Oh, it's doo-doo today? No more testicles. Are we done
No,
with
I'm on to
testicles?
poop, I guess.
Let's crap this one out.
All right.
I'm Bridget.
I'm Wendy.
This is Flick and Beans.
Welcome to our podcast where we discuss movies,
And
drink coffee.
drink coffee.
Except today we're drinking energy drinks.
Yes. Pina coladas, if you will. Light ice, so we get extra energy.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, you know what? Energy, caffeine comes from beans, so it's okay that our drink is clear.
Yeah. So where does the caffeine come from if you do like an energy drink? Is it still like coffee derived, green tea derived? Do you have any idea?
Do I look like I have any idea? Science. My best topic. No.
This is the first
skill.
time I've thought about it, so clearly I don't know.
I don't either.
It
But
prob-
it's very tart.
It would have been some kind of bean.
It's very tart.
Mm-hmm.
What am I tasting? Is it the pineapple? Because it tastes like
doesn't taste very coconutty.
tastes like a pixie stick. Listen, today I'm gonna buy a coconut. If I can find one, I'm gonna buy one for my crabs.
Oh,
Yeah.
they eat coconut?
They sure do. Even the bedding itself is coconut husks, basically all ground up. And it's like, oh, this is the loveliest dirt ever.
Huh.
But yeah, I threw in some broccoli and some peas and a little mango. They go to town, but they are invisible. Like, I have to dig them out of the coconut. Anywho. Okay, Guster. There was some significant heavy breathing on the last episode.
Did I don't think I did send you this picture of Gus.
Mm.
So Joel had a cookout at work, and they were going to throw away a bunch of burgers at the end. So he took some
jeez.
home. He's like, my dog will eat them.
Hell yeah.
And then he took like a little short, one of those blasts, and he caught this.
Wow.
I'll have to put this up on our
That
Instagram, but
is maybe one of the best dog pictures I've ever seen.
yeah, he caught her just like right before she was going to bite the burger. She looks vicious.
It'd be hashtag teeths.
She, for being 10 years old,
She's got good looking teeth.
12 years old, sorry.
Yeah.
She's 12. Yeah, 12 years old. She's got nice teeth.
Yeah. That's how you tell. Oh. Well, Gus is laying her head on a pillow until I just said that.
We went back to B&B theaters.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Except,
We
you
didn't
know I'm
get-
upset.
We made the mistake of going out to brunch.
God, it
first,
was so good, though.
And so we were not hungry because we ate so much at brunch.
But all I ever talk about is the butter station.
Yeah.
However, okay, I would have gotten popcorn just to squirt the butter on it. But you guys were like, no, we're too full from brunch. And I was like, okay, I ate a ton. Plus, why was my drink so giant? Although Joel was the king of the drinks, he was shamed.
He was shamed. Poor guy.
Shamed by the waitress for ordering another Bloody Mary.
Yeah, he wanted a second Bloody Mary, and apparently that's never happened to her before. Because she goes, oh, sorry, people don't usually order a second one, so it took me off guard. I was like, people don't order a second drink ever? What the fuck?
I'm like, what are Bloody Marys for? They're plural.
I mean, it was a very, like, stacked Bloody Mary. It had lots of garnish. But still, like,
Oh
that
my
was
god,
such a
it
funny
had
thing to
so
say.
much stuff in it, like sausage and pickles and a salad and
Yeah.
some cheese and olives. Oh, he couldn't even get a sip out of the glass till he took some of the toppling toppings out.
Yeah, the toppings in Bloody Marys are getting ridiculous.
Oh,
Have you ever seen the ones where they, like, put a whole chicken or, like, a Cornish hen on the top?
shut up!
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to be obsessed with Cornish hens. I thought they were very fancy.
I don't like them.
Because it's a little whole animal.
I don't know. I've only had it once, and so maybe it just wasn't cooked well, but I got one on, like, a cruise, and it was gross, and I just didn't like the way it tastes.
Ew.
Like, the meat was like, ugh. So maybe it wasn't cooked well, or it's, like, too gamey for me. I don't know.
Huh. Yeah. Well, they are, game hens?
Yeah.
Oh, I just always thought they were really cute.
Yeah.
Even though it's a carcass. And, I don't live that way anymore, but it's, they're still cute.
Yeah. Sure. Anyway.
Crispy skin.
Maybe on top of a Bloody Mary. So yeah, we went to B&B Theater again, and Bree, hi Bree, she remembered us.
Yes, she
And
did.
she said she listened to us. So if you're listening, hello
she
Bree.
screamed, "Flickin' me!"
Yeah.
Oh God, that was the best.
It was the best. And I didn't catch the other bartender's name. She was very sweet too, and she told us a new popcorn trick.
She did.
Yes.
And I said, I need a pamphlet on that. That was brilliant.
Yes. So it was somebody brought a spray bottle in and filled their spray bottle up with the butter and then took that in, and then they would eat layer of popcorn, spray the butter, eat a layer of popcorn, spray the butter. That is really genius. You think of that, like I used to use on popcorn I made at home, like that. I can't believe it's not butter spray.
Oh yeah.
So it'd be like that, but better because movie popcorn.
My jaw was on the floor as she was telling us this. I was like, man, my 2 bags idea is lame compared to that. That was.
Do you think it sprays well though?
Listen, I'd be willing to invest in a really good spritzer.
Sure.
We could go in on it together.
Okay.
You know.
I'm just thinking, like, I don't know what the consistency of butter is. If
it's
like
thick.
Cooking oil, it might not spray. So we went to see the new or sequel, I guess.
Yeah.
To Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Yes, but don't say it a third time.
Beetlejuice.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It didn't work.
Yeah. Ugh. It was so cute.
Yes. I loved it.
Loved it.
I kept this description in my back pocket because I didn't want to influence you at all. But
Thank you.
My cousin had seen it the week before, and I was talking to him about it, and he's like, "Yeah, it seems like Tim Burton had all these ideas that he wanted to put in a movie, and he just finally got free reign to do it, so he just stuck it all in there." And I thought that was actually a pretty good description in the movie because there was a lot of like cool, weird, creepy things that he did, and that he really went wild on this one.
Fun fact, are you ready for this one? Believe it or not, he did not rewatch the first movie before he started making this.
Weird.
He just kind of had that spirit.
Yeah.
And, you know, he didn't write it,
the
screenplay, but he directed it. Mm-hmm. And he also was absolutely intent on keeping the budget under $100 million because he really wanted it to be in theaters. Mm-hmm. None of this streaming garbage that, you know... To me, it almost seems like the lower budget would be the theater one and the higher budget would be the streaming one. But I don't know how all that works. But anyway.
I think with like streaming stuff, you just get paid the once to make the movie. And I don't know if you keep making rights on it streaming after that. I don't know. But with the box office, then you get the ticket sales.
I think I'm kind of getting into I've not, like you said this yesterday, like this is the most movies you've been to in ever, and same, but it was so good. Like the way that the movie came along both sides of the theater, that was neat.
It was a surprise. I didn't know what they have all these different screens at that theater, and sometimes the movies are in different ones and sometimes they're just in one.
I did not know there was such variety.
So we were in what they call the X or something like that, X stream, and it has 3 screens, so the whole sides of the theater are getting projected on it too, and that was cool. Yeah. Because it made you feel more like a ride. And then I said to you, like, we should do the 4D one sometime because that actually is a ride. Right. It moves and
hell, we could just experience each of the screens no matter what's playing.
True. So yeah, I really like that theater. Surprises all the time.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So speaking of Tim Burton and his ideas, I read a fun fact that when they were pitching names for it, he pitched as a joke, "Scared Sheetless." And it actually got like considered for
you
a
mean
name.
Like it would be Beetlejuice, Scared Sheetless?
Yeah.
That's pretty cute. It just seems like too perfect, though, to call it Beetlejuice.
Yes. I mean, that was the way to go for sure.
Yes. Yeah. It's so perfect.
But then if they ever make another one, which I don't know if they will. But
yeah, he'll appear. You can't say it.
You can't watch it or say it. Or...
Well, what if it... So stupid. No. I was going to say, what if it was... The third was the sequel of that baby Beetlejuice?
Oh my God, that was my favorite part.
It was a dream sequence. Let's be real.
Until the end, wasn't he real?
No. He wasn't real.
Oh.
Because she ended up getting, no, it was a dream sequence, and they ended it that way kind of as a way of saying, you know what? Nothing ever really is summed up with a nice little bow in life.
Right.
Or in this world or that world or our world or whatever.
Yeah, the Beetlejuice baby was probably my favorite part. I laughed so hard. And I was just like, I know some kids like that.
Yeah.
Just wild.
Yeah.
Well, I think I told you that my nephew went through a biting phase.
Oh, God.
And I was like, oh, he's Sam.
God, you do not want a little demon baby. I mean, just in general.
In general, yes. No, I'm not saying that Sam is a demon. It just made me laugh because one time we were over there.
Oh, you named him. His name's Sam?
No,
Sam
that's my
demon baby.
My nephew.
He's a biter.
He's a biter. He went through a little phase where he would just come up and like quickly bite you on your butt or whatever, or lick you. And it's like, he thinks he's a dog.
Right. Well, for any new parents out there, baby Beetlejuice is the best Halloween costume. Please dress up your babies as little demon tricksters.
Yes, I hope I see a little baby Beetlejuice.
Better.
Yeah, we get quite a few trick or treaters in this neighborhood, so we'll
you're
see.
Lucky, I get 0. Zip zilch. I mean, even when we lived in our house, it was such a small town. Forget
People
about
want
it.
someone else.
No.
Yeah. So many people take their kids to like trunk or treats and stuff like that now.
How gross.
But we have the church across the street does one, so we get traffic from that too. Like they'll come to do that one, and then they'll do like a few streets around. So we get quite a few. Yeah.
It just seems like it's really lost its whatever.
Yeah.
Back as far as Halloween goes, Beetlejuice does take place over, when Halloween occurs.
Yes.
And so I poked you during the movie and I was like, we know things happen on Halloween with dead people because they can come out for the night.
Yeah.
Didn't really happen.
Ghosts can come out whenever they want.
Yeah.
We just started or just finished finally like the first season of American Horror Story.
Right.
And I felt
that's
like
the best season.
There was a lot of similarities to this movie from that. Like the fact that the ghosts couldn't leave the house.
Yes.
And anyway, it just kept making me think of other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That felt real. Like during American Horror Story, she tries to run out of the house, is right back in the house. And it's kind of like when they, like in the first movie, when the Maitlands try to leave their house and they're in this realm with the Sandworm. And it's just like, no,
You can't.
You're here. That's how hauntings happen. We know this.
Yes, of
Science.
course. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, Justin Theroux.
Yes.
Is just a horrible asshole of a character. I think that Jenna Ortega described him as disgusting in the best way. And apparently he kept cracking her up.
Oh yeah.
Because even though I don't know if I'm really a big Justin Theroux fan, but I also do kind of like him in everything I've seen, but he always kind of plays a dick.
Yeah.
Like real shade. He is playing the boyfriend of Winona Ryder grown up as a ghost hunter TV show personality, which fits.
Yes.
It so fits.
I was like, that was the perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you know that, I mean, obviously they've been tossing around this back and forth idea of the sequel forever and ever since the first one, just everything had to come together. But Winona, when she signed on to do Stranger Things, she had one stipulation, which was if Beetlejuice sequel gets on the ground running, I need time off to film that. And they said, sure.
Okay.
But that was,
years ago, yeah.
Doesn't that seem, I'm sorry, but Stranger Things seems really current, but it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
Anywho.
Yeah. Well, we were watching something last night and it came out in 2019 and Joel was like, well, it's new.
Yeah.
I was like, that was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's new in the relative, but like still like
exactly.
It's weird. And that time period feels even longer because of the pandemic.
Yep.
The before times.
Yeah, it does. I did rewatch Tiger King. I was like, and just trying to remember back to that time and what a phenomenon it was. And everyone was stuck in their house watching it. Ridiculous.
Have you watched Chimp Crazy at all?
Yes.
Okay, I just started it, but
You better believe I watched
it's
Chimp
the
Crazy.
same people that made Tiger
Yep.
King. Yeah.
People are bizarre. Keep watching Chimp Crazy. There's one in particular horrific attack.
Okay.
And it's like, no, you cannot have a chimpanzee.
Mm-hmm.
Or a wild animal.
Yeah.
They're real cute as babies.
Of course.
But,
so are humans, but then they grow up to be monsters.
One of those women is breastfeeding a
I
baby
know.
monkey. Well, it's a baby. What else are you going to do? She's got a human and a monkey on each boob. I mean, one on each. How many boobs does she have?
I mean, probably one on each. I don't think you could both get on the same one.
Oh my God. That is nasty.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. So, I also read that the Maitlands were not involved in the film. The Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin characters, and they told us that they kind of found a loophole and were able to pass on.
Yeah.
But my thought is it Alec Baldwin's legal troubles that kind of kept them from including him in the film?
Perhaps.
Definitely. But also, they just went into this other direction where it's about 3 generations of women. And I liked that.
Yeah.
You had your Catherine O'Hara, you have your Winona, and then you have your Jenna Ortega as the daughter, who just does seem perfect as Winona's daughter.
Jenna Ortega has kind of taken that role of that girl that I would say like Winona was, Christina Ricci, that dark girl, and she does a great job at it. I loved her as Wednesday, and I loved her in this movie too. Like
Wednesday was dropped on Netflix, and I think it was like that same week or something. Tim Burton plopped that script for Beetlejuice in Jenna's lap, and he was like, "No pressure, but you're Astrid."
Yeah.
And so I read that she said, okay, and gets in her car, drives about 5 minutes down the road, stops her car, gets out of the car, sits on a rock, and reads the entire script. What a cool story. I'm sorry, but I've never read a script, so I just
especially not sitting on a rock.
I think that's cool. That's acting. That's hardcore. And also, so he directed her in Wednesday as well. But they were kind of just getting to know each other. And so when she moved over to work on Beetlejuice, the cast, Tim Burton, they're all so connected with one another that then she kind of got this other feeling of this camaraderie and like he made it fun and he was more jokey in this setting. So it sounds like it was a really fun thing to work on.
It was a really fun movie, and it was just fun.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't an agenda or a deep message or anything. It was just fun and funny.
Oh, there was a deep message. Mothers and daughters.
Oh, I guess so. There's always a little
that.
bit. Yeah, I guess so. It had heart for sure.
Yes.
But it wasn't political agenda or anything like that.
No.
And I liked that because I feel like, sometimes everybody tries to do a big message with their movie, and you don't need to.
No.
Not all the time. Yeah, but there was a lot of I love creative horror stuff. Like in the beginning when that lady staples herself back together.
That was amazing.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
I was like, it reminded me of Nightmare Before Christmas. Sally's always like sewing her arm back on, but this character, she did it with a staple gun.
Yes.
She's just like.
I didn't really like that whole character arc though.
Yeah, it didn't really seem necessary.
It was only. Okay, so this woman's name was Dolores, and she was a soul-sucking demon. Apparently an ex-wife, or the only ex-wife of Beetlejuice. So her whole agenda was to suck the life out of Beetlejuice. So she was after him. But other than to say that she is the only entity that haunts Beetlejuice, whereas Beetlejuice haunts everyone. I don't know. Other than the quote special effects scenes where she did suck the soul out of somebody, such as Danny DeVito.
Right. It's just
that was great. That was a great effect because they squished up the person like one of those collapsible Tupperwares, and then they ploof onto the ground like a latex blob.
Yes. These are just clothes and skin.
Pretty great.
And yeah, Danny DeVito. Like, it's funny because you don't see his face, but as soon as he speaks,
Yeah.
you're like, that's Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
It has to be. And you don't see his face for like the first minute.
And he's only in there for like a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just he's a janitor.
Yep.
I still think the whole Beetlejuice idea that like if you kill yourself, then you have to work in public service is so genius.
Yes. A couple of continuity issues with that, though, because Astrid's father was working in civil service, but his death was an accident.
Yeah, I wondered about that too. Maybe you can choose.
They were like, well, maybe his mission was a suicide mission. So anyway,
Maybe.
I just, again, all the cute deaths.
Yes.
If you will.
Yeah, Danny DeVito swallowed drain cleaner.
Yeah.
And yeah, Astrid, the father, I can't remember his name now.
I don't remember.
Anyway, the dad, he was eaten by piranhas.
Yes.
Or drowned and was eaten by piranhas.
So
but
we had
little piranhas all over him. Joel said that's what he wants to be for Halloween.
Yeah. Another fun fact. Charles Dietz, Lydia's father, dies. And it's the best. It made me wonder. I was like, did he die? The actual actor?
I should have looked that up.
I don't think so, but...
Joel said he heard a rumor that he didn't want to be in the movie.
Okay.
So they just animated him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was so clever.
I wondered whether he was dead too. I'm like, I don't know.
I didn't know. Okay. So the gist being that they do a kind of claymation sequence to illustrate the way that Charles Dietz dies, which is Tim Burton's actual nightmare of how he dies, which is being involved in a plane crash in the ocean, almost drowning, but then being eaten by a shark.
Yes.
So we do see a reappearance of Charles Dietz in the underworld, but he has no neck and shoulders and head.
No.
But
somehow his wife still recognizes him.
Oh yeah, and that pointed to me that it is the essence of a person that you love.
Yeah.
Not their head, neck, and shoulders.
And she was like, he's just us walking towards us squirting blood.
Yeah.
And she goes, look what they did to me, Charles.
That's right, because she ended up being bitten by snakes.
But
no, asps.
Asps.
Oh,
yeah.
that she said were defanged, but she was wrong.
She was wrong.
What a weirdo. My favorite part was that they portrayed her as being, an artist, ongoing artist. And one of her giant sculptures from the first house is in front of the art center.
Yes. They donated it to...
And her art is going strong. It's performance art. It's just televisions. And, it's too much. Performance art sometimes is a bit much anyway for me.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I don't get it, but there's something about it that's cringy. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's just because it's like more self-involved.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I saw one once that was like, oh, gosh. I think it was a time elapsed, but it was a video of someone washing their hands, and it was a clear, what's that clear soap that, you can kind of see through it. It almost looks like candy.
Oh,
what is that? I used to use
glycerin.
Glycerin soap. Okay. Glycerin soap. But inside the glycerin soap was a little statue of baby Jesus. And they washed their hands and washed their hands and washed their until all the soap dissolved and the baby Jesus was out. The end. Process that. Or the one where the people pull things out of their vaginas. That happens.
Yeah.
This shit happens.
It's too much. I watched a documentary on this one performance artist. I can't remember her name, but she was famous for sitting across from people. Do you know that one?
No.
Okay.
I'm just cringing, waiting for the...
But the thing that stuck in my mind was she made this performance art display. What do you call it? Show?
Yeah.
I guess. And got a bunch of people and they're all naked.
Okay.
And they made people going through the exhibit had to like interact with these people. So like, for example, one of the time she had two of them standing in a doorway. So people had to like,
oh yeah,
go through them.
Oh yeah.
Naked.
I would do that. I would be the naked person.
You'd be the naked person?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've told you about when I did the modeling.
You would want a bunch of strangers rubbing up against you when you're naked? I wouldn't.
Meh. I think I think it would make them, I think that's the gist, is that it makes them more uncomfortable than you.
Yeah.
Well, when I was a nude model, I've told you the story that I didn't know I should bring a robe.
Yeah.
I literally walked around looking over people's shoulders during the break, like, oh, that looks great. It looks nice. No shame. No shame.
No.
It was just me. How about how they always had to stand on an angle when they were in the underworld? 'Cause they had to stand slanted because the floors were all slanted or supposedly all slanted.
I didn't realize there was a Beetlejuice musical.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And I saw that when I was looking up facts, and I'm like, oh, I want to see that, but it doesn't run anymore.
Oh.
So unless we can find a recording of it. It stopped running in 2023.
Woo! Coffee break! Let's talk about our beans.
Hey Bean Flickers, have you followed us yet? We are on Instagram and Facebook at Flickin' Beans Pod. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave us a review.
They should be putting stage musicals on a streaming service.
Yeah.
Maybe just one service just for Broadway, off-Broadway, musical, or you can look up musicals. Never mind.
Yeah, you can. But
not stage ones,
Yeah, not
you
stage
know
ones.
what I mean.
Yeah, I think that would be a fun stage
Like,
show to
I
see.
am dying for you to see the stage version of Hedwig
Yeah,
someday.
I'd love
That would be
to.
so cool. I did see that they're doing a Rocky Horror Picture Show, a big deal one, where they've got shadow actors on the stage too. So very cool. Those are some great costumes.
That's kind of a regret of mine, is that I never went when they did it at the Billy Joe's Picture Show. I never went to that.
Yeah,
but I kind of wish I would have when that was still running.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
Good times. It'll come back.
Yeah.
It's always going to be.
Yeah, I've seen acquaintances that have put it on in recent years, but I have still never gone to a live one.
Yeah, I only did it once, and it was absolutely unintended.
Yeah.
I had the best time. I was like, what is this? I happen to have some toast in my bag. This is like a happy accident. Who carries around toast? I don't know. I did. So, I was going to say something about... Oh, yes. So, I thought it was funny that I read they opted to keep Beetlejuice politically incorrect. I'm like, but he wouldn't have been the same. And like, you're dead. You're not going to evolve.
Right.
You know, as man should these days and times. And I don't think he's super willing to come back for a third.
Yeah.
That's why I think they should evolve this baby.
It would be funny if it was just like a movie like Chucky, but it was Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
During the scene, this is another fun fact, and I obviously did not pick up on it because it's out there, rando. The music that is playing when she's giving birth is the Carrie theme. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta revisit that. And then another great song. Well, obviously we had the sultry.
More than words.
Wasn't it.
That wasn't it. Oh. Wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you.
Beetlejuice sings that beautifully. Was he lip syncing it? That was
like the original recording.
Yeah, the original. And then they chose to use the song MacArthur Park, which is 7.5 minutes long in its entirety for the whole third act. Only because Tim Burton had been hearing this song playing on the jukebox in his kitchen, and he became obsessed with it. And he's like, what if the whole third act was MacArthur Park? And then I guess they kept trying to cut it here and there. And he's like, nope, you got to use the whole thing. It's just that bonkers. And it was.
It worked really perfectly.
That could never work, but it worked.
Yeah. I really appreciated that they kept a scene in where they're all lip syncing, because that's just like the best part of the first movie.
Yes.
So I'm glad that they kept true to that.
Yes.
And it was still sort of food themed.
Well, at Charles's funeral when they had the little chorus of boys singing Day-O.
I forgot. Yeah. Day-O.
Daylight come and me won't go home. It's what the
his
second
headstone was a shark fin.
Yes, his headstone was a shark fin. Apparently, some of those headstones actually moved a little during the scenes because they're probably made out of styrofoam, and somebody leaned on one and it moved.
I'll have to look for that the next time I rewatch it, because I definitely will rewatch this one.
A shark. I feel like Joel will get a shark fin tombstone.
I leaned over and I asked him. He said, "No, I want a shark fin urn."
Oh, okay.
And I said, "Okay."
All right, gotcha.
Put it in writing.
Yeah, and then you can, like, you know how you can, we're talking about dead Joel now. Grind up some of his ashes and then, like, press it into a necklace for yourself.
Yeah.
That's a little shark tooth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
Or a Beetlejuice baby, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So that ranks up there as my second favorite movie funeral.
Okay. What's your first?
First one is from Unfrosted.
Okay.
The documentary, or not
It's not documentary.
With Jerry Seinfeld about Pop-Tarts.
Based loosely on a true story.
Yes.
Yeah.
About Pop-Tarts. And that funeral, they pour cereal and milk, and the woman is crying and she's slicing banana. Oh my God, no one loves cereal like as much as Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah, so second favorite movie funeral. What's your favorite movie funeral?
I don't know.
I thought it was so great. I don't have any more fun facts. Oh, except this morning on the Today Show, they had, since the little baby hippo has been born, there are like GIFs and memes going around the world. And they've got one of Pete Davidson and the baby hippo walking along the street. My poor Pete Davidson. I don't think the hippo would break up with him. It's like, I'll go out with you, Pete Davidson. Actually, it sounds like everybody will go out with Pete Davidson.
Yes.
They just won't keep him.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Mental problems.
Well, he's open about that.
Yeah, it happens. It's all of us to some degree or another.
He has this is off topic, but in one of his comedy specials, Pete Davidson, he has a like bit about him and Ariana Grande breaking up, and she said in like a Vanity Fair interview or one of those big magazines that he had a big dick.
Oh yeah.
And he said, I don't. It's average. It just looks huge in her tiny hands. And then he
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
And then he said, I think she did it on purpose. She's a smart girl because now every girl that dates me is going to be disappointed.
Wow. God, that's funny. He does, though. You know he does.
Oh, yeah.
Good God. You know, I mean, he got Kim Kardashian for crying out loud. I don't know who he's with now, but you know he does.
He definitely has BDE.
Or big energy if you're the radio.
On that note,
I know.
I think we did it.
We did it.
We flicked
some beans.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.